Hello friends, are these the top stocks to buy? Today we're taking a look at TAN again, OSTK, TTD, HYLN, and MRVL for round one of TCG ticker requests. I've dedicated two charts to TAN because it's worth talking about in a couple of different ways. A couple of things I want to point out. First of all, daily time frame, bulls relentless, have not given up, and that is a key lesson to learn. When we are looking at a bullish stock that's going absolutely parabolic, we have to ask, when are the bulls going to change the story? And this is where we're going to use price action in a lot of ways to determine when the story changes. I thought yesterday we would have a volume climax day. We would see some more consolidation, but the bulls are not ready to give that up. So what we're going to do is take a look, first of all, at what possible areas of resistance are left. We blew through an important weekly. We're going to go to the weekly time frame, and this is what we just blew through. So this week, I should say, we went right through our 73.10 level, and now we have 75.50 as a resistance from way back here in 2011. Okay, that is really the only thing that we've got in our way. Also, volume profile. Look at the volume that has been exchanged up here relative to what has been exchanged down here. There's a significant difference, and we are well into the area where we have relatively little in the way of overall resistance. Plus, there's been such a time spread between 2011 and 2012. The order book is going to be relatively stress-free as far as the bulls are concerned. This is the last major obstacle to get over top of. And beyond that, there's not a lot in the way for the bulls if they just simply want to keep going. Something that we really need to keep in our minds. Bulls have a lot of capability. They've proven themselves. They do not seem to care about overbought conditions. So we are going to be bullish until the bulls tell us a different story. Very simple. All right, so what do we have for our regular analysis? Well, we've got mostly just high day resistance again, 75.52. We see daily consolidation. There's a bit down here at 65.10. And this is where we start hunting for a change in the story. Have we seen anything that would deviate or cause us to suspect that maybe the bulls have given up some strength? And we don't. We see a 4-hour higher low. Let's adjust a 4-hour chart to 64.50. We see a 4-hour higher low at 70.06. This was the opportunity that we saw from yesterday's doji candlestick that the bears had a chance to do something with. We start a low, see a higher high, then we see the bulls coming back down. This is our doji candlestick here, suggesting that there has been a change. Bears just don't capitalize on it. We hold 70.06. We don't even try to test that after market. Pre-market, we've already gapped up to new highs, and we just continue and go. 15-minute time frame, we see really not much of a 5-minute trend change at all during the day. 5-minute higher lows, we just lose that, and when we lose 5-minute higher lows, we look to the 15, set a 50-minute higher low, come back up to test that high day resistance 75.52. So what are we going to be looking for in the short term for a change in this trend? Well, we're going to have to stop getting these hourly higher lows. That's going to be the first sign of reversal. Right now, we've got ourselves, what are we going to call this, a 15-minute higher low? That's right. 15-minute higher low at 74.45. If we lose that, we're still just looking for hourly higher lows. And bulls would be very confident. What we would look for that initial change, I would look at two scenarios. One, we would see a breakdown, just looking for the hourly higher low and continuation. This could continue for a very long time, as it has. And we would just simply watch for these hourly higher lows and higher highs to continue. Second scenario that is slightly more likely. Eventually, again, we're waiting for this weakness to come in. We're going to look for the higher low. And as soon as we see a lower high and then a confirmed lower high, that's when things start to get a little bit more interesting for the bears. That's going to give us that opportunity. It's going to tell us the hourly trend has changed, which has not happened in a very long time, since the 50s. And that would be the first sign of weakness. So until that happens, bulls are in absolute control. They're heading into an area with a relatively low overhead resistance. And they've got a lot of potential to continue what they have been doing. The more interest that comes into the sector, the more money comes into the sector. Combine that with the potential for more stimulus checks to go out and more Robinhood traders to be more interested in investing into crazy breakout type stocks like TAN. It could be a perfect storm. So let the bulls be bulls until they're no longer bulls. Price action will dictate when that does come to pass. And right now we're just looking for hourly higher lows. Next up, OSTK. OSTK on the daily time frame. We're still generally seeing that slow climb to the upside. It looks pretty good on the daily time frame. We get our big green candlestick, a little bit of consolidation, another big green candlestick. And the question is, does this correlate well on the 4-hour time frame? Daily, 86.75 is still our resistance. And if we go to the 4-hour, we can see that we didn't actually hit new highs today. So it does look like a higher close, but if we go onto the candlestick for the first, we see we actually got double top resistance, 84.94, and today's high was 84.90. So 4 cents away, that's going to be double top resistance for me. So we need a couple of things to happen. On the 4-hour time frame, we're edging an overbought, which is very likely going to cause our hourly time frame to be overbought, and we are just heading into that now. So we have ourselves a 15-minute uptrend into breakout, into resistance. What we're going to look for at this point would be hourly consolidation in the form of a 3 or 4 candlesticks, a 15-minute bull flag represented as a hourly consolidation into breakout. If we can get over 84.94, I don't see why bulls wouldn't be able to get to 86.75 on a good solid green day tomorrow. The market helps us out. 15-minute time frame, pretty consistent 15-minute higher low. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for a loss of the low candlestick here. Where's that beautiful magnet, please? A loss of 84.30, that would be the loss of consecutive 15-minute higher lows, and then we would just be looking for hourly consolidation to follow into a bull flag. Top fishing opportunity, I guess, tomorrow, if we come up against 84.94 and we see a lot of resistance, a good top fish. But at this point, I don't see any reason to doubt the bulls. TTD. All right, so here is a chart that looks an awful lot like TAN did yesterday. So let's go back to the TAN chart and let's zoom in and get rid of these lines. Nice doji candlestick. Going back to HY or to TTD, here's that breakout. Here's a little bit of that doji type shape signaling in a possible trend change. So what we need to do is zoom in and determine, has the story actually changed? Are we seeing changes in price action, or is this simply daily representation of expected lower highs and lower lows? I should say expected higher lows and higher highs. To do that, we go to our 4-hour time frame, and here these candles are too clustered together, which tells me it's going to be an hourly or 15-minute trend. So in the hourly time frame, we can see our highs, our higher lows, higher highs, continues on riding this EMA 12 for the first time since our October 2nd. We've dipped down to test our EMA 26, but we are still holding 15-minute higher lows. So a nice little show of strength toward the end of the day. Bulls heading into after hours. If we get a green close on the next hourly candlestick, I would say 586.29 is looking good for an hourly higher low. And at this point, there's no reason to doubt the bulls. On the 15-minute time frame, we are seeing a 15-minute downtrend. We can try to correlate that with a nice little drawing here that encompasses all that price action. Currently seeing a rejection from the trend line. What we're going to look for is a higher low over 578.54 for that hourly higher low, a break above this trend line, and then we would look for continuation. Now, it gets interesting here going into tomorrow. The question that was asked in the chat was, when do we short this? Well, if we were going to be looking for a short position, what we want to see is a successful breakout over top of the trend line. At this point, we want to hold above 586.29. It's not confirmed yet until we get another green candlestick. So we could see red here. Anything over 578.54 is going to be that higher low. But what we would want to see for a short opportunity would be a lower high under 608.40, 2 hours of red. Then I would look for a short with a stop to new high and hopefully get ourselves a head and shoulders type pattern. Call it whatever you want. It's a change in psychology. It's lower highs. It is former higher highs into lower highs into where we expect to find daily consolidation. So that's what I look for. On TTD, HYLN. All right. HYLN Holdings Corporation has seen several days of downside. Bad news for the bears, or I guess good news for the bears, is we're not oversold on the daily time frame, 35.36. The question I ask when I see this is, have we stair-stepped down on shorter term time frames that will allow for more sustained downside? If we are taking opportunities to consolidate on the hourly time frame and we have a very nice trend on the hourly that's getting us into this daily position, then that's more sustainable than a straight drop. Let's go back to that. So what we're going to look for is some resistance and support levels. We have some support at 25.38, and below that we've got a little bit more. Let's get this drawing out of the way. A little bit more at 1978. Now if we go to our TD sequential, we see support printed, this TD sequential support resistance, I should say support printed right below our 1978 level. So it's at 1956. So I don't use TD sequential a ton, but I do like correlating support levels, and I did see this pop up into play. So on the weekly time frame, if we zoom out, we can see that we are well underway. We're not even close to oversold on the weekly time frame. We could get all the way down to 970 and still be looking for a weekly higher low over top of the low of July. So, you know, maybe reaching a little bit here. But if we did find ourselves in that area and we're still oversold, and we start to see signs of strength against a weekly support level and TD sequential daily support level, okay, I might give it a little bit of a bottom fish there. But let's go back to a regular chart. Daily support 25.38, daily oversold to not quite into play. So let's go and take a look at how we got here. And here's that hourly time frame, stair stepping its way down. Right now, this is a classic 1226 strategy for a downside move where we just keep rejecting from our 12 and our 26 hourly lower highs, lower lows. At this point, bears are in complete control. We might be able to draw ourselves a little bit of a wedge here, but we are certainly looking for trendline resistance. And at this point, all I would try to do would be to draw something in. You know what? That fits pretty perfectly. Maybe we can go and draw our support. And can we find cause for a wedge at the same time? No. I don't. I try to grab as close to my origin as possible, and if this midway through the pattern I can find something that works well that encompasses the action up here, great. But if I have to go all the way up here to make a wedge for myself, I'm just not happy with that. Either way, we're looking for a possible bottom fish over 25.38 or 1978, depending how we get there. We need a breakout over the trend line, and we also, and more importantly, we need a price action change. I want to see bulls over 34.39. At this point, it's very similar to how we're looking for that potential head and shoulders. We're going to look for lower highs and lower lows, shifting into lower highs, higher lows, and higher highs, giving us that psychological shift over our trend line and over our price action level 34.39 for upside. Until that happens, it's pretty bearish. MRVL daily time frame. Daily bulls are strong, so we need to go back and look for historical resistances, if there are any at all, and there are not. So we'll go back. Actually, we'll go to our 4-hour time frame because we want to explain this action. I don't like the tightening range. I shouldn't say tightening range. I don't like how clustered my candlesticks are, so I'm going to go and look for more data. But I do see that we have some important levels, likely hourly support here, near double bottom. I'll take that. And then right there at 41.75. Go to my hourly time frame. Hourly higher lows, higher highs. Bulls need to stay above 41.75. And as long as they maintain this action, they will be in very, very good shape. We have this nice hourly price action trend. So higher lows, higher highs doesn't necessarily fit a nice drawing. This has been in place since September 25th. Let's go back to our daily. We can see that the bulls are in absolute control. A little near overbought on the daily time frame, but this red day is going to hold just fine for us, and it's going to give us a nice opportunity for maybe some weakness early on in the morning, but certainly still looking for a hourly higher low over 41.75. Lose that, then I look for a lower high, and then continue downside. That's it for the first 5 tickers. Now, if this is helpful for you, please do like, subscribe. It does help us a ton. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. You can contact me directly at support@chartguys.com. There's a fancy phone number on our website too. You can hassle me if you want to. And other than that, thanks for watching, and I hope this helps.